Hi, I'm glad you stopped by. Today I just want to have a bit of a chat with you. This is a video more about my ideas and ideas of why I'm here to communicate things to you. And I really want you to understand from my heart what is going on, because I fear for so many people. It's hard to grasp and get your mind. It was hard for me to get my mind around all these things, but I want to touch on mostly here about the counterfeit. So the counterfeit spirit of prophecy is obviously something that is real. This is very real, because there are too many things that are said that lead people astray. Now, in my second video in this series, it was numbered 1.1. So again, that's video 1.1. And that's in the counterfeit playlist. And I want to tell a little story about that, because in that we cover what it says in volume 5 of the Church's Testimonies, right? Volume 5, page 464. Again, that's volume 5, page 464. And that is where it talks about that when the Sunday law passes, that is the warning to God's people to leave the big cities for the small cities, preparatory to living in retired homes and secluded places among the mountains. And I encourage you to go and listen to that video. But this is counterfeit, and it is, I give the presentation for the true spirit of prophecy and what God's message is to you. I want to encourage you to be very, very serious about the truth. Some 40 years ago now, a man in this small community that I lived in, he had 3 sons, and he sent his sons out to deliver a message. And they did. Accepted the invitation to come and hear him speak. And he had a bit of a following from some people, and he wasn't Adventist, so he believed in the message. He read the spirit of prophecy, but he did not know that he was deceived. And so at that point, we went to the meeting, and he stood in the front and gave his presentation of how he had determined that the abomination of desolation had occurred, and therefore it was time to flee. Okay. His little group of people followed him, and they went out into a pretty remote area, and in a short period of time, relatively short, everybody had to come back because nothing was happening. And as you can obviously see, 40 years have transpired at least, and nothing has happened. So there was no jobs, there was no income for him, and so he had to come back. But all he proved was the fact that he was, number 1, a false prophet, and number 2, deceived. And this is really a big, big problem. Why is this so? Well, I have two more little stories that I'm going to share with you. I have my little cheat sheet card here to remind me to stay on track for you. But this woman told me when I was describing something about the counterfeit spirit of prophecy, and she pulled out a book and opened it up and said, "Oh, see, Satan can't write like this." Well, I have some bad news for you if you think that. Satan does write like that. And just like this man who was deceived by what was in Testimonies Volume 5, which was all written after James White's death, guess what? He was greatly deceived. And the next story is about a man who told me, when I was talking to him about the counterfeit spirit of prophecy, he told me, "Art," he said, "I only use the parts of the spirit of prophecy that agree with the Bible." And guess what? He doesn't really know who the 144,000 are. So there's a lot of problem here. What is that problem? It is the message to the Laodicean church. That's what the problem is. Because they think they are rich and increased with goods. But as you know, if you have followed and listened to my videos, it's got nothing whatsoever to do with physical goods like a shirt or whatever, your shoes or your cars, not about any of that. No, Laodiceans think that they are rich in spiritual discernment. Really? What is that? They think they are rich in spiritual discernment, and Satan sweeps them away like a huge bunch of trash. And it is a sad, sad day, and that's really the burden of my heart. So many people just do not understand the power of Satan. And there's just, remember, Satan has had 6,000 years of experience. And his power to deceive now is 100 times greater. That's in the Testimonies. And I'll put the link in the description for you. 100 times greater. It also states in the Testimonies that in the original authentic testimonies, that humans in these last days are more susceptible to his devices. Well, what does this mean? It means that those who think and believe that they are rich in spiritual discernment are greatly deceived, just like that man. Make sure this is not you. Make sure you are searching for truth. Ask. That's the acronym of Advent Seventh-day Keepers. Ask. What does it say in the word? Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. Become a searcher for truth. Proven truth, right? We're told to prove all things. So prove it. Prove what I'm telling you. When you see the reference and the description, look it up. Make sure you have downloaded all the testimonies and everything that I have listed. You need that material. You need to have your collection of truth, proven truth. Desperately, we all need it because God has warned us and told us exactly how to conduct our life in these last days. Just look at what Satan has done in the last 6 months. The whole world has been shut down. Every country that you can name. There are approximately 43 countries and territories and little pieces of governance that have not got anything to do with it. You know, little tiny islands scattered around, and it has no bearing on this. The whole world has been shut down by Satan and his agents through nothing but a spewing, like a volcanic spewing of lie after lie after lie. Do not believe what you hopefully are not looking at, but, you know, the mainstream media news stuff. Be careful. Be very careful. Prove what is being presented to you by whoever presents it, because so many people are going to be deceived. There's only a few that are going to go through the end. We don't know when that's going to happen. They're already talking, right, a second wave to again pressure people. We have all kinds of weather modification called geoengineering that is taking place. That's why we have all these extreme weather events that are just outrageously extreme. It's like nature off its course. But again, it's Satan and his agents working. Make sure you make a decision for the truth. And then you got to work at it. I had to work at it for quite some time. And because I seeked, right? Ask, seek, and knock. Because I sought for the truth, it was presented to me, just like it's being presented to you here. If you don't find the right links and stuff in the description of this video, it's in most of my rest of my videos on this channel. And we don't know when this channel is going to be shut down, but in God's grace, it's here for you now. Get ready, get ready. God bless your study.